welcome back to C2 Novel and Vocab Week 16. Thank you for joining me, and if you've already watched my videos, go ahead and skip to the first word. But if this is your first time watching, stay and listen. So hello everyone, my name is Ms. Kimberly, and the goal of our session is to have students understand each word in our vocabulary workbook, and to be cognizant of some phrases from our novel that may be difficult for us to understand. So I'll be here to help you through it all. So what are we doing today? First, we'll be going over week 16 vocabulary. We'll read it together. Second, we'll go over extra example sentences for each word. Third, in our next video, you will be going over difficult phrases from our novel. And fourth, you will have to review and self-study after both videos. Okay, review and self-study after both. But why are we doing this? First, we'll be going over week 16 vocabulary for vocabulary acquisition. By learning the definition, synonym, and antonym of a word, this can significantly, which means greatly, improve your reading comprehension and enhance your contextual usage. Next, we'll be going over extra example sentences, and this is to help with your writing variation. By looking at a variety of different example sentences with one specific vocabulary word, students can learn how to use the word in different sentence structures and ultimately make your writing a bit more interesting. So, if you don't already, please go and grab your vocabulary workbook. Go get it. C2 Vocab, and turn to week 16, which is on page 132. Everybody go to page 132. Good. I'll have you do a lot of repeating after me, so make sure that you read with me and repeat. Everyone say range. Range. The synonym is variety, and the part of speech is a noun. It means a set of things of a particular type. So many different things, but only one type of thing. In our TED Talks, it says, there is a range of solutions to this problem, from cheap ones to very expensive ones. So not only is there just one answer and one solution, they're saying that there are many solutions. But we need to choose whether it's the cheap ones or the expensive ones, or maybe in the middle when it is just a little bit. Let's read the example together. You have to read with me. Read it out loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. A wide range of paint colors is available at the art supply store. Yes, we don't want to go to the art supply store and only find red, orange, and blue, right? We need some green, we need some purple, we need some gray. We need a wide range of paint, many different colors, as you can see in the picture above. Please make sure for your homework that you are writing all the example sentences one time here in this big box. Alrighty? Let's look at the example sentences here. It says there is a range of sports you can play in the gym, meaning you can play soccer, basketball, dodgeball, volleyball, probably not baseball, but there are a range of different sports that you can play, not just one. Next one, it says a stove's temperature range lets you cook food at just the right heat. So if you've been to your stove, or if you've seen it, you turn it, right, in order for the fire to come on. Then you can see that there's a range of temperatures from low, medium, and high. Everyone say range. Good job. Number 2, everyone say transfer. Transfer. The synonym is relocation, and the part of speech is a noun. It means the movement of someone or something from one place or position to a different place or position. So we're transferring from here to over here. But let's look at the sentence from our TED Talks. It says, the transfer of money from her bank to the aid agency took almost a week. So we're trying to move our money into the aid agency. Maybe we're donating some money here. And it took a whole week though. Usually for Korean banks, it takes like 1 second for us to transfer money. Let's read the example. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The transfer will officially indicate that the ownership has changed. So maybe I transferred my phone company name from my name to my mom's name. So then now I transferred it all over to her. Over here, it says his transfer from one school to another took place in December. So maybe he moved from one elementary school to one in Seoul because they had to move. Next, it says the coach planned a transfer of players to different teams. So maybe we have a huge team, but we have an A team and a B team, okay? So we have an A team student, maybe transfer over to the B team, and then the B team student will go over and transfer to the A team. Kind of like switching, transfer, moving it along. Number 3, everyone say assumption. Assumption. The synonym is belief, and the antonym is doubt, meaning you don't believe it. It's a noun, and it means something that a person accepts as true without question or proof. So we're just thinking of something and we assume it. We don't know if it's 100% true or not. We're just kind of guessing it. And we don't know if it's 100% or not. Next, in our TED Talks, it says there is an assumption that donating to aid agencies is the best way to help people in poverty. So some people think that, oh, if I just donate money to this company, then I'm helping the world. But that's an assumption. People think that it's true, but we're not quite sure. Example, let's read together. Are you ready? You have to read with me. 1, 2, 3. Many people hold on to the assumption that all boys dislike dolls without any proof. Yes, boys can like dolls. It's okay, okay? However, some people have the assumption, they just guess that the boys don't like dolls. But that's not true all the time. Over here, it says, she had the assumption that everyone liked pizza, but some didn't. So maybe someone is lactose intolerant and they can't eat cheese. Then that person cannot eat pizza, right? But she assumed, she had the assumption. Next one, it says, an assumption can sometimes lead to mistakes if it's not true. So again, if you keep making assumptions about people, it can lead to a problem because whatever you're thinking may not be 100% true. So we need to make sure we back up our assumption with some more details. Then it would not be an assumption anymore. And number 4, everyone say fee. Fee. The synonym is cost, and the part of speech is a noun. It means the amount of money paid for a particular piece of work or for a particular right or service. All that meaning, a fee means a bit of money that we pay for something like an act or a service, okay? In our TED Talks, everybody follow along. It says, phone companies usually add taxes and other fees for using a cell phone. Yes. So when we use a cell phone, it's not just we're paying for how many phone calls we make. Sometimes they'll put like a fee in there somewhere. It's kind of a bit tricky. Let's read the example together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Most gyms charge a monthly or yearly membership fee. So in order to go to the gym, right, you can't just go and walk in and say, la da da da, I'm here to work out for free. No. You must pay a fee, whether it's monthly, so every month you pay, or a whole year that you pay all up at once. Let's look here. It says, there was a late fee because she returned the library book after its due date. I've done this so many times when I was younger. Whee! So say that I borrowed a book from a library, but then I had to return it today. But I forgot it, and I didn't bring it. Then I would have to pay a late fee, pay some money because I missed the deadline. Next one, it says there is a small fee to enter the amusement park. So if you've been to the Lotte World here in Busan, you have to pay money, right? We're not just going in there and saying, I want to ride a roller coaster. But instead, you have to pay a small fee, an entrance fee for that. Everyone say, fee. Good. Now we're going to move on to our novel words. Everyone, number 5, say desperation. Desperation. The synonym is despair, and the antonym is joy. It's a noun and it means a strong feeling of sadness, fear, and loss of hope. So this desperation does not just mean that you're kind of feeling sad, but you're in a state of feeling super sad. In our book it says, but did she have enough to win on her own? Jessie felt desperation rise in her throat. So this is when Jessie was trying to figure out if she had enough money to win the lemonade war, but she wasn't sure, so she felt a lot of fear and sadness in herself. Let's read the example together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Desperation filled her eyes as she waited anxiously for her test results. So as you can see in the picture, she's like, She's waiting with desperation in her eyes. She's feeling nervous, she's sad, she has fear, she doesn't know anything. Over here, it says, he looked at the broken bike with desperation, unsure how to fix it. So he looked at it, he's like, I broke my bike. And then he looked at it with desperation, sadness. Next one, it says, there was desperation in his voice as he asked for help finding his lost dog. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that you lost your dog and you're trying to have help from people around you? How would you feel? You would feel super sad. You would be filled with desperation. Let's move on to number 6. Everyone say threshold. Threshold. The synonym is entrance, and it is a noun. It means the floor or ground that forms the bottom of a door, and that a person walks over to enter into a room or building. So it's like when you open the door and you step over and now you're into the next room, that's your threshold there. In our book it says, just crossing the threshold was a direct violation that carried a fine of $1. So this is when I believe Jessie was trying to go into her brother's room. So usually entering the threshold, entering into his room. Let's read the example. 1, 2, 3. The guests will enter the castle by passing the threshold of the castle. So again, we're entering in, the entrance, we're walking in. Let's look here. She paused at the threshold of her new classroom, feeling nervous. Have you ever gone to a new class before, and right when you walk over to the threshold and enter into that classroom, you may feel a bit nervous, right? I don't know if I've ever felt excited about a new classroom, but I've definitely felt nervous. Let's look at our next example. It says the dog sat at the threshold, waiting for someone to open the door. Oh, my cat does this all the time. She's always like scratching the door, trying to come in. But of course, she cannot enter into the threshold because the door is closed. Number 7, everyone say lousy. Lousy. The synonym is awful and the antonym is good. The part of speech is an adjective and it means very bad. Ooh. So lousy, very bad. In our book it says, he could sell 1 lousy cup of lemonade tomorrow and beat her. Meaning he could just sell 1 really bad cup and he would have enough money to beat her. So, lousy, very bad. Let's think of it in a different context and read the example sentence above together. 1, 2, 3. The lousy weather ruined our weekend plans for a picnic at the park. So that means what? If we had lousy weather, it was probably raining, thunderstorming, windy, so that we could not have a picnic. Ooh, lousy. Over here, it says the food tasted lousy because it was cold and soggy. Blech. I do not want lousy food. I want delicious food. Next one, it says the movie was so lousy that they left halfway through it. So instead of watching it from beginning to all the way to the end, it was so lousy, it was such a bad movie that they stopped in the middle and just left. Yeek. Have you ever left during a lousy movie before? I don't think I ever have. Number 8, everyone say converge. Converge. The synonym is gather and the antonym is scatter. It is a verb and it means to move toward the same point and come closer together or meet. Converge. So they're coming apart, but then all of a sudden they converge. They go the same way. In our book, it says all the insults and anger, the confusion and fighting seem to converge in a single flash of white-hot feeling. Meaning, they got super, super, super angry. Let's read the example together. 1, 2, 3. The two main rivers in the forest converge at a point downstream. So I can see in the picture above, these rivers somehow later on converge and they will come together at the time that they're going downstream, from what the sentence says. Over here, it says, the lights converge on the center stage, highlighting the performer. Highlighting the performer. There we go. So we have a light here, and then we have a spotlight here, and they're all facing the center stage, so both of them converge together and show the main character. Next, it says the runners converge at the finish line to celebrate together. So if you've ever seen someone in a race, they all come together at the end and they go, woo, and they celebrate. Next one, number 9, everyone say spigot. Spigot. It is another word for faucet, and it is a noun. It's a device that controls the flow of liquid from a large container. So if you look here in this picture, it is this silver part, this metal part here. You can turn it on so a lot of liquid comes on, or you can turn it a little for a little bit of liquid come on, or you can just turn it off. In our book, it says, it looks like a giant bongo drum with the screw off top and a spigot at the bottom. This is when Evan was making a super, super, super big, what's it called? Container of lemonade with a spigot. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. This spigot will allow you to control how much juice you want to pour. So again, like I said, you can turn it so that a little bit of liquid comes out, or turn it a lot for a lot of liquid to come out. Let's look here. It says the water flowed quickly when she turned on the spigot. Turned on and whoosh, all this water came out. Next one, it says the kids washed their hands at the outdoor spigot after playing. I've been to the mountains here, and they also often have a spigot randomly, and then when I turn it, a bunch of water just comes out and I can wash my hands. It's great. Now, let's go to page 134 for number 10. Everyone say peddler. Peddler. The synonym is salesperson, and it is a noun. It's a person who sells from door to door in the street. So they don't just sell outside. Usually, a peddler can be a person who goes door to door and try to sell it to you. Or we can also say if there was a peddler at the market. It's just someone who's trying to sell something. In our book, it says, he was like one of those old-time peddlers calling out, lemonade, Get your ice cold lemonade here, as he walked. So he was like pretending to be like a businessman, like a market seller, trying to sell his lemonade, calling out to people. Let's read the example together. 1, 2, 3. Peddlers travel from place to sell things. So I know that in Jeju Island, there aren't many markets there, right? So there is a peddler who has this big truck filled of all these different types of things inside. And he goes to different neighborhoods to sell them items because some of the people from the different villages at Jeju cannot go to like a mainstream city area. This is like the countryside I'm talking about. But that is also a peddler. Here, it says, she bought fresh fruit from a peddler in the market. So also, I go to the market here too, the fresh local market. And there's this man, he always comes from his farm, I believe. He always has these new fruits. Sometimes it's mangoes, sometimes it's apples, sometimes they're pears. He is a peddler. Next, it says, people gathered around the peddler to see what he had for sale. So again, usually sometimes they will sell the same thing, but sometimes they will sell different things. Peddler. Number 11, everyone say snuff out. Snuff out. Our part of speech is a phrasal verb, and it means to stop or destroy something completely. And in our book it says, but the feeling was snuffed out by the hurricane of anger she felt when she remembered Evan's gravely voice, pulverize. So she had an idea and a feeling, but it went away. It snuffed out. Let's read the example together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Sadly, Agnes's dream was snuffed out when Edith told her unicorns are not real. So here, Agnes thought that unicorns were real, but that idea and that dream was snuffed out. It was stopped and destroyed when her friend told her that they were not real. Let's look here. It says, the rain snuffed out the campfire, leaving everyone in the dark. This is more of a literal sense, right? We had a fire, but then the rain, it snuffed out. No more fire. Next one, it says, his hopes of winning were snuffed out by an unexpected injury. So maybe he was trying to win the race, trying to go and finish first place, but then he got hurt, and that idea was snuffed out. It was destroyed. Number 12, everyone say frantically. Frantically. The synonym is wildly, and the antonym is calmly. It's an adverb, and it means quickly and with a lot of activity, but in a way that is not very well organized. So frantically means chaos. We're going crazy over here. In our book, it says, frantically, he reached into the cooler and started to scoop out the dead bugs with his hands. So remember, he had this big cooler of lemonade, but Jesse did something and put bugs in it. So he had to scoop it out when he finally found out. But he wasn't calmly scooping it. He was frantically. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. It was complete chaos when desperate fans ran frantically to purchase tickets. So maybe there was a big baseball game and we didn't buy tickets on our phone. Say that we had to go to the baseball stadium to buy it. So big fans, they would be like running frantically like, I want it. And it would be a lot of chaos without any organization. Over here, it says, they frantically tried to escape as the waves grew larger. So maybe we're in the water, the ocean, at home on the beach. But the waves got even bigger and we couldn't swim, so we had to frantically get out. Next one, it says, she frantically searched her room for her backpack so that she wouldn't miss the school bus. Maybe I packed my backpack, but I don't know where it is. So she had to frantically look for it everywhere. Number 13, everyone say bejeweled. Bejeweled. Ooh, so pretty up there. And over here, we only have an antonym, which means bare, which means empty. So let's see what this means. It's an adjective and it says wearing a lot of jewelry or decorated with precious stones. So bejeweled, jewel has lots of jewels. That's a way to remember. In our book it says, the lemonade sparkled in the sunlight like a bejeweled waterfall and then disappeared without a trace. I remember, I think this is when Evan had to pour out his lemonade. When he poured it out onto the grass, it was nice and shiny and sparkly, but it got all absorbed into the soil. Let's read the example together. 1, 2, 3. The king gave the queen a beautiful bejeweled tiara that sparkled brightly. I would love to have a bejeweled tiara, even though I'm not a queen. Over here, it says she wore a bejeweled necklace that caught everyone's attention. So maybe it's super sparkly and has all of these jewels and then bam, bam, bam. Next one, it says the wedding dress had bejeweled designs all along the sleeves. So on her arm, maybe it was like lace and it had all these jewels and pearls and sparkles. Pretty. Number 14, everyone say sympathetically. Sympathetically. The synonym is compassionately and the antonym is insensitively. Wow, these are really long words. Let's read that again. Sympathetically, compassionately, and insensitively. Let's see here. It's an adverb and it means in a way that is kind to somebody who is hurt or sad and showing understanding of someone else's problem. So you're saying, are you okay? Let me talk about it. Oh, I know, that's so sad. Sympathetically. In our book it says, the mother smiled sympathetically as Evan returned her $2. So remember, this woman, this mother, made Evan pour out all of his lemonade because it had bugs in it. And the mother smiled sympathetically. Like she felt sorry, but she was happy that he did the right thing, so she smiled sympathetically because Evan just lost all of his lemonade and he felt really sad. Let's read the example together. 1, 2, 3. They listened sympathetically when their friend shared her troubles. So they're listening, they're trying to be kind in how they speak to her and listen to her. Over here, it says, she spoke sympathetically, knowing how hard it was to lose a pet. So maybe your friend lost a pet and you wanted to be like, oh, don't worry, you can buy a new pet. That would be insensitively. That's our antonym. But here, to speak sympathetically, that would mean to be in a very nice and kind way. The next sentence, it says, the doctor smiled sympathetically, trying to calm her worries. So maybe you went to the doctor like, doctor, I don't feel good. I feel so sad. I don't know. It hurts everywhere. And the doctor just smiles sympathetically. It's okay. It's okay. Number 15, let's move on to our textbook words. It says rich. Rich. The synonym is varied and the antonym is dull. So this rich does not mean I have lots of money. It's a different definition, okay? Let's look at it. It's an adjective and it means very interesting and full of variety. So it's very rich. Not just one thing, not having a lot of money, but it's very interesting. In the book it says, the language became richer and more complex. So meaning it became more interesting. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. We had a rich conversation about issues at work and how to solve them. Meaning our conversation was very good. It wasn't boring, it wasn't dull, but it had a lot of varied and very interesting ideas to talk about. Over here, it says, the forest was rich with the sounds of birds and insects. So it's very interesting, full of variety. I can hear the birds chirping. I can hear the crickets cricketing. Next one, it says the soil was rich in essential minerals, perfect for growing vegetables. So here it's saying that the soil had a lot of different nutrients and minerals so that good vegetables can grow there better. Number 16, everyone say fluently. fluently. The synonym is effortlessly, and the antonym is clumsily. It is an adverb and it means in a way that shows a person can speak or read easily, well, and quickly. Like how you guys can speak English fluently. I love it so much. In our book it says, instead of speaking like 2-year-olds, I go play. Children with more signs could speak fluently. Okay, so also with you, we don't want to say short sentences like that. We want to speak more fluently with more details in our sentences. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, and 3. To speak a new language fluently, you should practice with a native speaker. Oh, that's me. And you can practice with me in this video. Good job, high five. Let's look here. She speaks both English and Chinese fluently. Maybe she's able to speak so well. That means 2 languages. She is bilingual. Next one, it says, she can speak French fluently after years of practice. French is a language that I cannot speak. I only know how to say hello. What other languages can you speak fluently besides Korean and English? Hopefully another one too. Number 17, everyone say linguist. Linguist. It is a noun and it means someone who studies foreign languages or can speak them very well. So we're studying all these different types of languages, so you are a linguist. In our book it says, linguists from around the world were excited about what these Nicaraguan children had done. So linguists, we study English, but are we really linguists? This is like a person's job, a linguist, a person who studies foreign languages. Let's read the example together. 1, 2, 3. People interested in the study of languages may consider becoming linguists. Nice. Over here it says the linguist traveled to meet people who spoke rare languages. Wow, so you know how there are many different dialects of different languages, so they would have to go deep into the countryside and meet some other new people. Next it says she became a linguist because she loves learning new languages. I also love to learn new languages. This is why I'm learning more and more every day. Number 18, everyone say instinct. Instinct. The synonym is intuition, and our part of speech is a noun. It means a way of behaving, thinking, or feeling that is not learned. So it's in us, okay? Our book says the children seem to prove that humans have a natural instinct for language. Meaning we have a way that's going up inside of us. It's our instinct to have a way of thinking, behaving, or feeling that's just within us. We didn't have to learn it. So let me go further. Let's look at the example. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. My instinct told me that I should avoid taking the dark path at night. Right? So at night, you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to go down the dark alleyway. It's safe. No. Our instinct, something within us would tell us, I'm not going to go that way. It looks dangerous. Over here, it says his instinct was to run when he saw the snake. He didn't have to think about it. It wasn't something that he learned, but just when he saw the snake and he decided to run away. Next, it says animals use their instinct to find food and shelter. Yes, some animals do learn how to hunt from their parents, but some animals also is just a behavior that's within them. Instinct. Now, number 19, everyone say cycle. Cycle. The synonym is recurrence, and the antonym is cessation. It's a noun and it means a course or series of events or operations that recur regularly and usually lead back to the same starting point. So go around and around and around. Our example, there's only one, so let's read it together. 1, 2, 3. Addressing climate change requires breaking the cycle of carbon emissions. That's a hard sentence. So basically saying we need to stop climate change, but we also need to stop using carbon emissions. Here, it says each season is part of the yearly weather cycle, right? We have spring, summer, fall, and then winter, and then spring, summer, fall, and then winter. It's a cycle. It goes all the way around again. Next, it says a frog's life cycle starts as an egg. Yes, we have an egg, then it hatches into a tadpole, then it turns into a frog, and then they lay eggs. It's a whole cycle again. And number 20, everyone say poverty. Poverty. The synonym is deprivation, and the antonym is wealth. It's a noun that means the state of one who lacks a usual or socially acceptable amount of money or material possessions. So they're in poverty, meaning they are poor. Let's read our example. 1, 2, 3. Some live in extreme poverty and lack money, food, and shelter, meaning some people may not have a house. They are extreme poverty. Here, it says some organizations help families get free from poverty, meaning they're trying to get them out of poverty so that they can maybe work and make some money for themselves. And then our last sentence here says, helping those in poverty can make a big difference in their lives. Yes, if we lend a helping hand to those who are in need, who are in poverty, then it'll make a huge difference. Very good. And now our mission. It says there are 20 words every week. Write down how many words of each part of speech there were in this week. For example, how many nouns? How many verbs? How many blah, 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 blah. Don't forget to write your name, class, and week. Put it into our YouTube mission box, and I'll be giving out some dollars. And now it is time for review and self-study. This is for contextual mastery. So 1, review all the words again. Read it out loud, please. And then lastly, finish and complete your vocabulary homework pages. Thank you for joining me again this week for week 16. I am so happy to see all of you and study with you. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.